Anthony Hartwig here with episode 3 of Coach's Corner with Jeff Fishel. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Absolutely. Happy to be here as always.
We got a couple games to talk about. Let's start with the Ursuline game since the last we talked. A game you had to kind of come back from a little bit to pull out. What did you see from that game on the road against Ursuline?
Yeah, Ursuline had a great game plan, and they have the athletes and the shooters that they can do that in their physical team. And, I think every team that has success in a season has some adversity in certain games where, they quote unquote grow up. And I thought that was a good chance for us to kind of come together as a team. And, things didn't look good. We were down 7 late in that game. And, we made some key plays from some role players that made a big difference. And, I thought that brought the team closer together and it made them realize that the focus we need to have on a nightly basis to make sure that we're playing to our potential.
Yeah, and going through adversity like that and seeing your team down and not panicking and kind of coming back from it, that's another step to building a really great team.
Yeah, I think, with the schedule we play and as you look at things on a typical year when you get into the tournament play, you're going to play good teams. And, chances are when you play good teams, you're going to find yourself in situations where you're down. And to be able to have some experience of that throughout the season just gives the team confidence that you're never out of a game with the power that we have, the firepower that we have as far as, hey, right now the scoreboard's not in our favor. We got to get together. We can make a run at this. And that gives you confidence in games no matter what the situation is.
And last night you got your second 88 win with a win over Jefferson, one of those games where you just kind of went out and took care of business. What kind of things did you see from the game last night over the Falcons?
Yeah, I like the energy that we showed up. I have a lot of respect for Jefferson. Coach Ferrin does things the right way, and they play with a lot of energy. And I thought the key to the game for us would be coming out to match their energy and hopefully have more than them. And we were able to do that from the beginning. And we talked about, this is a league game. This is a home game. It's COVID. We never know when the phone calls come that might shut us down. So we've got to make sure that every single game is meaningful to us. And I thought that helped with the energy early. And, one of the things that I like about this team is last year when we had to tweak things and make some changes, it felt like it was taking 2 or 3 practices for that to happen. And, we're picking up on things faster now and the things that we're tweaking and changing, those girls are picking up on and able to do, in one practice. So the advances that we could make, obviously we had a full week between Ursuline and Jefferson, and just where we came from last week to this week, I thought was probably about a week and a half worth of advancement. So really pleased with that.
Jefferson presented a unique kind of, player in Taylor Skinner who's, she's got size, she's got athleticism, kind of like the same kind of build as Party. When you're kind of defending someone like that, what does that do for your team? Because everything's unique. So going forward, if you can kind of see every different type of player, that's got to help you guys.
Yeah, Taylor's a fun player to watch. I remember watching her in volleyball when Jefferson came down here and played our volleyball team, and she gets up off the court and she can fly. And she's really athletic. And she guarded Izzy a lot. And so for Izzy to have a girl like that guarding her, it made Izzy do some things that she's not necessary. She's used to doing them. She doesn't necessarily have to. Last night she had to go to some more patient moves and some of her secondary moves. And I thought Izzy, once she kind of realized that, did a nice job of adapting as the game went on. And that's a great experience for her because we're going to play a lot of good defenders this year.
Last night's game got kind of flashy. I mean, Izzy Party does the behind the back pass to Lizzy Tiles right on the perfect spot for a transition bucket. Fade away jump shot from the baseline. When you see the team with athleticism just take over like that, as a coach, what's it like watching when just the athletes kind of take over?
Well, if I'm being honest, I can't stand the fancy stuff. I'm not for that. But they work so hard and they have fun with that. And like you said, they're so athletic, they can do that stuff. So that's just one little reward that we give them, the freedom to be able to do that, and they enjoy it, and it gets the crowd going a little bit, and it gets the bench into it. And when the bench is into it, then good things happen. So we're okay letting it happen, but I like the fundamental two-handed bounce pass.
I'm sure it's one of those things that when it works, okay, but you let them hear it if it goes awry.
Yeah, you're no, and then when it works out, you're like, okay, nice job, definitely.
Okay. When you look ahead, you got Hoban on Saturday. Well, obviously, what kind of challenge does Hoban face, and what's it going to be like playing them?
Yeah, they're one of the best programs in Division I in the state of Ohio. They come in with some great athletes and some great size. You know, they're 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1", 6 foot, 5'11". You know, they come off the bench with size. So they have, I think we match up with their athleticism really well. But their size is just across the board. They're starting five and off their bench. They're a lot bigger than us. And in the past, teams that are bigger than us have given us problems, and they pressure the daylights out of the ball. Coach Davis does such a good job with them, and they know where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, and they play really hard in your face defense. So it's going to be a challenge. They play hard, full court, baseline to baseline for 4 quarters. So we're going to have to show up with a ton of energy, and we're going to have to execute our stuff really well and be able to adapt to what they do to us. That's an exciting challenge for us tomorrow.
What kind of things do you draw up against a team that's bigger than you like that to kind of counter the size disadvantage?
Well, you watch the scouting report. You see what teams that they've played against have done to be successful. And, you know, you work on some of that stuff. But at the end of the day, we've got to worry about what we do. And as much as we want to beat Hoban, and we'll be prepared for them, you know, we're not hanging our hat on winning or losing tomorrow is going to dictate how successful we are right now. So we want to work on things throughout tonight's practice and tomorrow in that game to make sure that we're improving. And, you know, we had a great run early in the year against a really good team against Laurel. And hopefully we can put together a better performance, a more complete performance against Hoban than we did against Laurel. Have that stretch of goodness kind of stretch a little bit longer in tomorrow's game. And, you know, we'll try to space them out a little bit and use our quickness to take advantage of that and kind of make them big girls move around her. But it won't be easy because they're pretty quick, even though they're big.
You know, it seems like this is kind of a win-win for you guys because if you beat Hoban, what a momentum boost that will be going forward. But if you fight hard and you compete and you get better but come up short, then it's still a win for you guys going forward. What's it like going into a game like that where the pressure to win is kind of off a little bit?
Well, I've been talking to the girls a lot this year about surrendering the results. You know, we're blessed to even have the chance to play in a game tomorrow, regardless of who the opponent is. And so, you know, I'm not a moral victories guy. I don't want to go play good and lose tomorrow. But the reason we schedule teams like Hoban is that we need to give ourselves a good barometer of where we're at, what we're good at, what we need to work on. And then we can take that into practice next week, you know, and help us prepare for our long-term growth and development as a team. So it's a fun feeling as a coach to know that you get to play against one of the best in Ohio. But if we don't find a way to win, I'm not going to have a good Saturday night.
Was it hard to kind of sell that sacrifice the results pitch to the girls?
They're still buying into it, you know, and they don't care. You know, they want to play games. They don't care who our opponent is. You know, they surely don't want to go play some teams that we would squash. They don't want to do that. They want to be challenged, and you know, they're happy to play the schedule that we play. So we'll keep working on that message, and we'll keep asking them to surrender the results.
I know it's kind of down the road, so I'm not going to ask about the game specifically, but this holiday tournament coming up, what's it mean to you to kind of host that kind of tournament and to see it grow over the last couple of years and to be able to welcome some of the elite teams of the area and a little bit outside the area too to come into South Range and play a really cool event?
Yeah, I love that we host that. You know, and I think the basketball that gets played in the area is really good basketball. And so it kind of gives us one event to put that together and put it on display. And we get some big time programs that come from out of the area that get to see what the Mahoning Valley is all about. And we get to learn a little bit about what the good programs outside of here do. And, unfortunately, with COVID, the attendance won't be what we like it to be in there, but YSN will have the coverage as our corporate sponsor for that event. So we appreciate YSN doing that. And it's going to be a good event for everybody. We're excited for it.
I'm sure you were starting to put it together a little bit before all the COVID stuff got super serious. So when you were putting it together, how many teams really were just chomping at the bit to get in? Was there a waiting list? I imagine there was a lot of interest in coming in when you put the teams out there that are going to be there.
Yeah, when you see who's in the tournament on a yearly basis, it started last year with teams saying, hey, if you have an opening, we want in. Hey, if you have an opening, we want in. And, unfortunately, because of COVID and some scheduling conflicts, we've now had 3 or 4 different teams that were going to be in have to drop out. And Coach Ferrin's done a great job. He's the organizer of this and keeping communications open with everybody. And as soon as somebody's dropped out, there's somebody on the list that, boom, we're filling games the same day. So that's just nice to know that there's that excitement out there from outside of South Range to want to come and be part of this.
I'm glad you brought up Donnie Ferrin because, what the athletic directors are doing right now goes so unnoticed. Talk about what he's been doing through this experience for you guys and the team and both basketball programs and what a tremendous job he's doing just trying to get you guys games.
Well, he's really stepped up, girls and boys basketball, junior high basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, the swimming. ADs across the country are over their head with how much work they have to do right now. And I think, Donnie's had to glue the phone to his hand and his ear and buy a second phone, and he's on his computer emailing, and he's got people sending messages for him. And I don't know how much sleep he gets because the number of times that his phone rings and the follow-ups that he has to do are just incredible. So a lot of work, like you said, it's underappreciated. And, a lot of people want somebody to point the finger at when they're not happy about something. And Coach Ferrin gets that finger pointed at him unjustly quite a few times. We really appreciate him and everything he does for us.
When you see, your athletic director like that genuinely care about the games you get and trying to get you guys on the floor, what's that kind of do for you as a head coach of a varsity program? And how does that make you kind of feel?
Yeah, there's such an uneasiness with COVID, and you look to the north with Trumbull County. They've been shut down for a month now or almost, and they get to start practice next week, thank goodness. But it's just nice to know with Mr. Ferrin and our new superintendent, Mrs. Carlson, that they support our athletic program. They realize what it means to the girls to be able to be together, not just from an exercise and physical standpoint, but mainly from a mental health standpoint. It's important for these young kids to be able to be together, especially when everything is so uncertain and different out there right now. It's nice that they can be together and have the normal conversations that they have. And if anybody's feeling nervous or scared about anything, the best people to have around you is your friends to get through that. So, Coach Ferrin and Mrs. Carlson kind of give us some backup support, knowing that they're gonna do everything they can to make sure that we can safely be together, and that way we can support each other.
Yeah. Now, last year we had you highlight your coaching staff, but for the people that are new to the coaches' corners and want to hear about the whole coaching staff of the program, kind of lay out your staff from youth to varsity and what they all bring to the Raiders program.
Yeah, our junior high coaches are still Kaylee Luckland and Brock Miller, and just so blessed to have them around. Their energy and what they do for the girls is really second to none. The amount of time and effort they put into what they do at the junior high level rivals that what I put in at the varsity level. They're always there. They're always there for the girls. Their practice plans are on point. They're supportive. They let the girls have fun. They make sure the girls are learning and competing and getting better. And that our junior high program is one of the best around, and it's because of those two. And then this year, we're very fortunate that we have enough girls in the program have a freshman team. So Morgan Zoper is our freshman coach. She played here. She's one of the best all-time South Range ever had, and the girls love having her around. Her energy and her kindness are contagious, and you can see the girls just kind of really look up to her, and anything she says, they soak up like a sponge. And then Troy Scott's our JV coach, varsity assistant coach. He's kind of taken a lead to be our behind-the-scenes head scout guy. He watches more film than any of our coaches, and he's sending me messages, on the hourly basis about upcoming opponents. Hey, coach, we got to do this. Hey, coach, this is what we need to look at. And so he's really dedicated himself to making this program a better program, and that takes a lot of time. And he's willing to do it, and he's busy, and he's got a family, and for him to do that is real dedication to our girls, and I know they appreciate that. And then we've added Sandy Kohler this year, and she's not around every night, but she comes in and helps us when she can. And that's a coach with a lot of varsity experience that had some of the best teams this area has ever saw. And so what she brings to us is a wealth of knowledge, and able to come in and just tweak what we're doing into improving on it. And it's been really beneficial for the girls. So that's our staff. Josh Smith will still be around. He's a little busy this year with how Youngstown schools are doing their teaching. So, but he chimes in when he can. And so hopefully he'll be back on a full-time basis next year, but another guy that's been helping us out. And that's our staff, and golly, it's a fun staff to be around, and I like the mix of people we have.
Yeah, we talked about it last, the building a staff for a program kind of new to you as a varsity head coach, and now you're in your second year of trying to kind of make a cohesive staff, and you're bringing back some people from last year, bringing in some new people. What's the kind of experience like for you, just kind of building those relationships and building the staff and building a program that goes beyond varsity and JV?
Well, it's a friendship, it's a bond. And I think that outside of coaching basketball and that part, the relationships that you make with people are why coaches coach. We obviously want to make a difference in young people's lives, and then teach them some things about basketball and some things about life that we hope they take with them and help them be successful adults. But, coaches at all levels, it's a brotherhood and sisterhood of, we know what each other's going through. We know the complaints people have. We know the struggles we have, and how much time it actually takes to do what we do. And for the staff that we have to, we're all friends. And we hung out after the game for 45 minutes, and we didn't talk about basketball once last night. We were just talking about life and having a good conversation. And I think, go ahead. Yeah, that was done.
You finished your thought.
I was done. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how important is that kind of camaraderie to you in a world where, making connections and friendships and being together with people is so foreign because we have to be so isolated with COVID-19.
Yeah, and everybody's dealing with it, so it's not like we're the only school or coaching staff that's dealing with it. But we're able to do the right things. Stay 6 feet apart, have our mask on. A lot of texts, a lot of emails, but at practice and stuff like that, the girls see that. And when the girls see how well the coaches get along, and we preach the message to them about how important it is for them to take care of each other, they see that the coaches are setting that example. And that comes from the staff up to me, and it's not me down there. They're the ones that really lead that, and that's why we're so blessed to have them. But then they also see there's accountability. I'm not the easiest guy to coach for. I want to make sure that our assistant coaches are doing things the way that we do them at South Range. And so I hold them accountable. And that allows the girls, again, to hold each other accountable and know that, what we're saying is what we mean, and what we're doing is what we mean, and it's all the same.
I love that you brought up that word accountability, because that's kind of been the buzzword for the coaches this week as we've interviewed a couple of them. How do you hold accountability, and then what kind of things do you hold your players accountable and your coaches accountable to?
Well, the biggest thing is they've got to be there for each other, on a daily basis. We're talking about teenage kids here. they go through a heck of a lot more than basketball every day. And, probably this year because of the COVID, it's a little bit more stressful, but in a regular year, it's stressful to be a teenager. You're hearing a lot of things from a lot of different voices, and it's hard to kind of navigate your way through what is going on and what makes you feel the best. So we talk about them being there for each other, knowing that on any given day, somebody could be having a bad day for any given reason. And we know that it's okay to come have a bad day, and that our teammates are going to be there to pick us up. And that's the ultimate form of accountability, is being there for each other. And you can't do it on the basketball court if you don't do it off the basketball court. So we really preach that starts off the court with taking care of each other. And then once that happens, you don't have to do much to have it happen on the court. That part kind of takes care of itself.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, we know your favorite Christmas song. We know your favorite Christmas movie. What's the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you like the fun, creative answer instead of the normal or family answer about stuff like that. I don't know. It's probably about 5 years ago. My parents got me a commercial hot dog roller, like you see at like a baseball stadium. And so I love that thing. That thing gets busted out at all the parties we have here, and everybody gets a kick out of it. So that's what I'm going with, the hot dog roller, commercial style.
I'll tell you, that'll be the best answer we probably get, because you bring the thunder, and we definitely look forward to talking to you again, and we're definitely getting you into a Christmas suit for that holiday tournament.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, Coach, good luck tomorrow against Hoban, and we'll talk to you again real soon for episode 4.
All right, Anthony. Thanks, man.